Target Series stays out on the West Coast for its 6th chase race of the season. We're here at the Phoenix Raceway for the running of the Subway 300. Paul Taylor, one of our chasers, has the pole for today's race in number 99. Who's outside second is the two-time Target Series champion, the 22 Ann McDowell. Then third we have Simon Bloomfield, fourth is Greg Lee, and rounding out the top 5 Mathis Wells in the 5. Then sixth we have Dylan Ebrahimian. Seventh place is Jake Gowen, 19, tied for second in points. Then eighth it's Anthony Hernandez. Ninth is Alexander Rowe, and Trey Rainey in the 52 rounds out the top 10. The rest of the field, Justin Zidell to his inside, Colu to the 42. Then behind them Patrick Smith and Trip McGinnis. Then we have Kishan Richardson, the other driver, tied for second in points, Luke Rainey in the 12. Then we have Danny Lloyd and Anthony Charlebois. Behind them Riley Spurley Tube with Jonathan Rains. Then there's Jose Mills and Greg Torres, along with points leader Colton Yo and William Seaman in the 3. Then we have Diego Yepes and Max Anderson. Then Levi Schoen with Jennifer Buford, along with Samet Oskin and Nathan Orman. Behind them William Bullen and Oliver Galloway. Then we have Eli Bright and Derek Hamill, along with Steve Larker and George Cooper. And Ryan Brommer and Sebastian Kukulan, with Jason Larker and Franz Device. And the 5 row, Jeff Wright, the 1-2's outside 42nd, the number 45 of Mike Burrell. There's our 42-car field for the Subway 300 chase race number 6 of 10, and the Target Series is number 8. Let's get going with our starting command.
Drivers, start your engines.
42 cars fire their engines up for chase race number 6 of 10 in the Target Series season number 8 as we're going racing here in Phoenix, Arizona for the Subway 300. 42 cars roll up the start grid. Paul Taylor, one of our chasers, leads with the green flag and is very close for the points lead at the front. Colton Yell's a 1-point gap over Jake Galloway and Luke Rainey, 3 points back to Danny Lloyd and Paul Taylor, who are also tied, and the tie between Sebastian Kukulan and Mathis Wells are only 4 points behind the points lead. So it's very close to be the points leader in the Target Series. 30 laps to determine who will be the points leader after today. Green flag in the Subway 300. We're racing in chase race number 6. How about 3 wide from lead lap 1, and McDowell on the outside leads it. 7 Bloomfield, 35 down low, trying to grab it through 1 and 2. Paul Taylor trying to clear that 22, and McDowell get clear, but now 7 Bloomfield back to the inside. Jake Galloway, meanwhile, 19 on Mathis Wells. The 2 chasers up towards the front of the points, battling for a position. But it's 7 Bloomfield, Paul Taylor battling hard for the lead. 2 chasers. Bloomfield slides up to take it off turn 4. Bloomfield clears, Paul Taylor clear in second, and McDowell trying to get clear in third, but Jake Galloway fights back in the 19, inside lane for him. He'll grab the third position, looking for a second off turn 2. And that 3 wide in lap 1 almost became 4 wide. Matt Wells, the 5, had some moments of peaking to go 4 wide, didn't make it happen, but that was very close on lap 1 early on this Phoenix race. Jake Galloway, 19, wants to lead from Simon Bloomfield, 35 car. As they come down the front stretch, Bloomfield leads again, but Jake Galloway, 19, is running the bumper, clear in second position to turn number 1. Alexander 76 has a nice run on the bottom of 1 and 2. Jake Galloway looking middle right there, trying to get there. He'll get to the middle, 3 wide again for the lead. Down low, Alexander Rowe, middle lane Jake Galloway, top side Bloomfield. 1935 rubbing, that's 2 chasers. 76, meanwhile, Alexander Rowe going to take it on the bottom lane. Here they come to the start-finish line. Jake Galloway leads the lap barely. Still 3 wide. Alexander Rowe is going to try and clear through 1 and 2. Trent McGinnis, 0-1, pushed up to the 42. Colucci slides up the racetrack. Alexander Rowe clear out in front. Galloway drops back to second place in line now if he wants to try and for a crossover. Here comes Trent McGinnis, the 0-1, down low for a second. Luke Rainey, the 12, fight forward. He'll look 3 wide. Lucas Tao, Jake Galloway. Whoever finishes higher than them, between the 19 and the 12, they might be the points leader. Whichever one finished higher. So, for Luke Ray here, 3 wide. Luigi middle lane up top, that's Jake Galloway. A big move out of Luke Ray right there. He wants it badly. Luke Rainey. He's going to try and clear for third, through 3 and 4. He'll look on Trip McGinnis for a second now. He is clear in the third position, though. Luigi trying to keep fourth over Mathis Wells. The 5 was a nice run coming. Wells inside of the 42 of Luigi for fourth. Trying to slide up right there. The 12 goes a little wide. Now to hit the dog leg. Luke is clear for third. Wells trying to get fourth. Gowie jumps down line behind the 5 to try and gain some spots back. As McGiz has a run for the lead in 3 and 4. He'll take it to the inside of Alexander Rowe. Because McGiz going to try and lead the lap. He'll lead lap number 7. McGiz out in front now for third. 2 chasers, Luke Ray, Mathis Wells, with Jake Gowie as well. This is the battle to be the highest finishing chaser. Back there, Edge Sharp onto the wall. Around goes the 55 and some others. Sliding down at 7, Bloomfield at 35. Paul Taylor's involved. Jeff Wright the 1. Dylan Ebrahimian and some others. Yellow flag, first time of the day. Before lap number 10, McGiz back in front row in second, and Wells will be third, with Jake Gowie fourth and Luke Rainey backed up fifth. Our first yellow of the Subway 300 out just before the 1/3 mark of the race. And it's Trip McGinnis with the lead, but we do have some chasers involved in that. There's Paul Taylor with his damage. Dylan Ebrahimian all torn up on the front end. Levi Shones, Jeff Wright has damage. Simon Bloomfield, some of the most damage. Ryan Brommer. See the 2 right there, Nathan Ormond. Danny Lloyd may have gotten a piece, the 21. The other 9 looks like he may have gotten through. It's our points leader. It looks like these drivers staying on the racetrack. No, Alexander Rowe at the last second jumping down the pit road. Or does he have an issue? Oh, he has an issue and he missed pit commitment. So Alexander Rowe from second, he was set to restart there, but now it's an issue to the 76. He will not be restarting there once we get back home. First, let's see what happened at the caution flag as they hit Charles Bois and Simon Bloomfield got collected off turn number 2. 3 wide racing inside the top 10. Anthony Hernandez and 7 made a big move down low. Anthony Charles Bois, Simon Bloomfield just made contact right there. So 55 slides up a little too high. 35 Bloomfield's out there. They get hooked together to the wall. They go hard into it. Paul Taylor, 99, gets collected down to Nathan Orman, the 2. Nowhere to go. Dylan Ebrahimian takes a hard hit right there into the 35. Derek Hamill, Sebastian Kukulon go low. There's Danny Lloyd, the 21. He slams on the brakes. He gets some contact there. Jeff Wright, the 1 hit right there. Levi Shones, Mike Burrow. There's Ebrahimian with his damage. Paul Taylor sitting sideways. But all know about 3-4 chasers do get damage in this massive crash off turn number 2 in the Subway 300. How's this affect the points too? Because Paul Taylor is up there in the point standings. Now got damage. Simon Bloomfield, Jeff Wright. They weren't too high in the points. In fact, I think they're the 2 lowest in the points. So this is definitely going to impact them even more and possibly take them out of a shot on the championship, as we're going to have 4 races left after. Lounge drivers did a great job on the outside getting around. Lounge drivers on the bottom did a great job just stopping their cars. Make sure they got them slowed down. Time got them low down. They were able to miss the crash. So great job by all the drivers that missed it inside and outside. But Trip McGinnis, ahead of all the madness behind him, he leads here in Phoenix, the Subway 300. He'll lead back to the green flag as well. Trip McGinnis with the lead in chase race number 6 in the Target Series season number 8. We will hit the restart, our first of the day, with 18 laps of racing to go in the Subway 300. Trip McGinnis currently our leader in Phoenix. Dylan Ebrahimian and the only car take his car to the garage from that crash, so still 41 cars on the lead lap on the racetrack. Alexander with his pit issues down to 41st now. Remember, he's set to restart in the 2nd position. So it's Trip McGinnis with the race lead here in Phoenix. Behind him in 2nd, Mathis Wells. Then Jake Gowie in 3rd, Luke Rainey 4th, and Anthony Hernandez in 5th with Cole Luigi and McDowell, Greg Torres, Greg Lee, and Max Aronson in the front 10. Back green in Phoenix for Trip McGinnis. Right now, behind McGinnis, we have some hungry chasers. Wells, Gowie, and Luke Rainey. All of us shot the points lead here today. So all of them want great runs. And Luke Rainey, see aggressiveness on this restart. Down the inside, Jake Gowie for 3rd. Remember, they're tied in points. Likely, whoever finishes higher, those 2 might have the points lead after today. But Rainey wants it madly. He'll look on Wells for 2nd. Wells' teammate, Hernandez, just find the 12 of Rainey. 17 to go in Phoenix. Trip McGinnis leads the race. The battles for 2nd. Luke Rainey, Mathis Wells, 2 chasers battling for points right here. They have risen to the occasion here today. All 3 of these guys at the front and side of the top 5, Gowie, Wells, Rainey, have all risen to the occasion and brought some great race cars. And they ended out where they are right now. Luke Rainey, coming to 16 to go, is there on Trip McGinnis. Can he make the move? He's on the inside in turn 1. Luke Rainey, the preferred inside through 1 and 2. Slides up below there. Hernandez to 7. Just behind the 12. Giving him a push down the back. Now can Hernandez make a move on Luke? They're still side by side for the lead in turn 3. Rainey the inside. McGinnis the outside. The 12 clears and takes it. Luke Rainey clear. The Subway 300. He leads. Halfway done now. Luke Rainey at the top spot. Hernandez for second. He has not won this season. He would love to get one as well. Down the backstretch, Anthony Hernandez to 7. Gonna try and get by Trip McGinnis to move his way up to second. Matthew Swells currently watching in 4th. Hernandez now for the lead in 3 and 4. Great run the bomb lane. Coming to 14 to go. Gray slides wide, but gets a nice run on the exit. Rainey leads again. Hernandez clear in 2nd, McGinnis clear in 3rd. The battles for 4th. Cole Luigi and Matthew Swells are side by side. Luigi gonna try and clear for 4th down the dog leg. Jake on the outside of the 19, falling back, nowhere to go. He needs to find a hole in line, get down and start to recover. Cole Luigi clear in 4th, to battle back for 2nd. McGinnis back to the inside for Hernandez, maybe giving him a bump up the racetrack. But they battle side by side. Luke Rainey loves seeing that. He can try and pull away. 13 to go in Phoenix. McGinnis wants to clear Hernandez badly here so he can keep touch with Luke Rainey. There's a shot right there to clear him down the dog leg. McGinnis back up to 2nd in the 01 car. Hernandez kicked back to 3rd, the 7. Cole Luigi up to 4th. Max Anderson wants 4th. The 23 car battles to the inside. Galway, the 19, back on the inside behind Greg Lee, trying to make his way back forward. The battles for 4th behind the front 3. Greg Lee, the 60, moving forward. Get by Matthew Swells in the 5. 3 wide, Jeffrey Beeford splits Jake Galway to the middle lane. 19 falls back. He can get back down line, though. He saw that he backed out of the 3 wide, didn't want to be a part of it. He said, that's not a chaser that I'm battling with. I can back out. Now he's back in the rhythm now. As for the race, Lee at the front of the field. They're looking 3 wide. McGinnis middle. Luke Rainey top. Bomb Anthony Hernandez. 3 wide with 11 to go. This for the top spot. Oh, McGinnis rubbing with Luke Rainey. Oh, up towards the wall there and the wall. McGinnis spins around from 2nd place. Gives the 12 damage. Down to the apron, the yellow flag is out, and we have damage to one of the drivers battling for the points lead. They might wreck coming back as well. Coming back to the caution flag. Luke Rainey obviously slowed now because of the damage. Back in front, it is Anthony Hernandez with 10 to go. Anderson 2nd, Greg Lee 3rd, Jake Abbott to 4th. But there is damage to one of the drivers fighting for the championship. Luke Rainey back in 7th, but obviously very, very affected by what just happened on the racetrack. Heavy front end damage and right side damage to the 12 car of Luke Rainey. Caution number 2, and it definitely impacts the points. Trip McGinnis and Luke Rainey bound for a second, and they made contact, and it was off from there. This was a 3-way battle for the lead. Luke Rainey, Trip McGinnis, Anthony Hernandez got 3 wide. McGinnis hard into the corner trying to clear Hernandez. Slides up the racetrack, gets into the side of Luke Rainey. They make some slight contact there. It looks like they got away from each other, but the other one keeps pushing up the 12, needs the outside groove. And finally, they just get hooked together to the wall. They go. Rainey a hard hit. The 01 spins down the inside. Luckily, no one hits him, but the unfortunate part is that Luke Rainey gets severe damage. He came in tied for a second in points with Jake Galloway. Only 1 point behind Colton Yo. Looked like he was going to be the points there for today, but now he'll be lucky if he can even finish ahead of Colton Yo in the process of what just happened right here. Hard damage. Battling for the lead at Phoenix. We've seen that so many times here. You're never safe at Phoenix. So many times you bound up towards the front, you'll get damage. You'll get collected in something that maybe wasn't your fault. And Hernandez, he leads with a nice lead. Max Anderson leads 2nd. Greg Lee in 3rd. Jake Galloway, through all that, gets probably the biggest break. He's up to 4th now in the 19. So it's non-chaser Anthony Hernandez leading 2 non-chasers, and our first chaser is in 4th. Jake Galloway will restart with just about 6 laps to go in the Subway 300 at the Phoenix Raceway. Coming back to the green flag, 6 laps of racing to go in the Subway 300 at Phoenix. It's Anthony Hernandez in control of the race currently. Trip McGinnis taking his car to the garage after the crash. Paul Taylor 6 laps down the 9-9. 39 cars on the lead lap currently in Phoenix, led by Anthony Hernandez, the 7 car. Max Anderson 2nd. Greg Lee is 3rd. First chaser is Jake Galloway in 4th. Jeffrey Beeford up inside the top 5. They have chaser William Seaman in 6th. Luke Rainey has his damage. He's in 7th. Justin Zaydell 8th. Cole Luigi 9th. George Cooper in 10th. Luke Rainey staying out, trying to get every point he can. Green flag back out. Well, was obviously slow the forward. He timed that right. He did not pass the 18 before the start finish line. Zaydell's halted. Luke Rainey has nowhere to go. He just has to get out of the way now. And for Luke, he knows he has to stay on that racetrack every point he can in case the yellow comes out under 5 to go. But right now, losing tons of time. At the front, Max Anderson. On the back of the 7, Hernandez. Galloway through the 3rd. Jake Galloway wants that points lead back. 19 has been dominant this season. He has a shot now in 3rd with 5 to go. Yellow flag would end the race. 2 teammates battle for 4th. Greg Lee outside, Jeff Beeford inside. Buford's got third, I think, too. She has the position on Jake Galloway down the dog leg. And Seaman the 3. Up looking for a top 5. Going right now for 5th on Greg Lee. Jeffrey Buford grabs 3rd away. But can she get to the front 2 of Max Anderson and Anthony Hernandez in time? 4 to go. 4 remain. And for Jake Galloway, while, he's right now the highest chaser, he has to be careful. There's a chaser, William Seaman, just behind the 3 car that can pass him and lose Jake Galloway a point. So for Galloway, there's only 1 chaser next to him, but that point could mean a big difference. Yellow is out. That's it. Caution. Hernandez coming back around to the yellow flag. This will be it. He has won in Phoenix. 3 to go. That will be the end of the race. As Austin Hernandez can coast around 3 miles, he will win the Subway 300. As Danny Lloyd, another one of our chase hopefuls, involved in this, and McDowell, and maybe some others. So our 3rd and final yellow of the day will end the race prematurely, and it's going to leave with Anthony Hernandez in victory lane. Seaman did get by Jake Galloway. The 3 should gain max points today, and the 19 should take over the points lead with a fantastic result here in the Subway 300. But as we're coming to 2 to go, let's see the reason for our final caution of the day. Danny Lloyd, one of our chasers, out of the Subway 300. This takes a while to get started. Down the front stretch off turn 4, Luke Ray on the outside just falling back. His teammate Adam McDowell with them. The 22 sees this. He wants to get low right here into the A6. They make contact into the 88. They all save their cars because of what happened. They are now 4 wide trying to get around the 12 of Luke Ray, who was obviously slower. Now to turn 1, contact made, 86 to the 22, up to the 12. Now the 22 rubs with the 12. Luke Ray keeps his foot in the gas, hits his teammate and McDowell to the wall. McDowell sideways trying to save his car. Down to Luke Rainey, to Alexander Rowe, Levi Shones, Danny Lloyd, then the 21 comes into it. Rainey up towards the wall, Colton Yo gets through. Lloyd hard contact there. McDowell spins around. Paul Taylor gets through, some others as well. Luke Rainey impacts the wall. He comes back down. I think the 12 gets even more damage now. But the yellow flag is out, and a lot happening there. So watch this off turn 4. McDowell tries to get there. Hit by Sproju up towards the 12. Now trying to get low into the A6. Contact with the 88. They all save their cars. Now they're 4 wide. It's on from there. Contact, rubbing towards the wall. Saves it. Down to the 12. Back around. Lloyd hard contact in the 21. That will end the race 3 laps short. Hernandez loves seeing that as he had no challenge from behind. And Anthony Hernandez should win the Subway 300. He's on the white flag lap. Final lap for Anthony Hernandez in the Subway 300. And as the points shake out, Colton Yo will gain points on Luke Rainey, who will drop severely in the point standings. But however, it's going to be Jake Galloway probably on top and dominating currently in the Target Series chase, as we will now have 4 races left to crown a Target Series champion. And there are going to be some 4 crazy races as well. Texas is coming up. Rockingham, Atlanta, Homestead. Some crazy races still left in the chase. Anything can happen, but currently Jake Galloway has the upper footing. He's gonna be one of the highest chasers here today. In Phoenix, great recovery for William Seaman, gains him some points. Currently Trey Rainey. I mean, so many chasers that needed good days, they did not perform. So many chasers that really weren't a part of the battle, they performed well. Coming to the checker flag, Anthony Hernandez will win for Junior Motorsports in Phoenix. Checker flag in the air. Hernandez wins once again in the Target Series, this time at the Phoenix Raceway. Anderson, some other non-chasers finish up there. Our first chaser is 4th, William Seaman in the 3. Let's go see the finish results and the chase standings after a very crazy Subway 300 at Phoenix. Here's how they finished in the Subway 300 at the Phoenix Raceway. 3 caution flags during the race for 11 laps, and 6 lead changes, 7 different drivers leading laps here today. In Phoenix, it was all Anthony Hernandez at the end. 11 laps led the most of anyone here today. Gets him to victory lane over Max Anderson in 2nd, Jeff Beaver in 3rd, our highest chaser William Seaman in 4th, and Jake Galloway rounding up the top 5, with Greg Lee in 6th, George Cooper, Jonathan Rains, Coluigi, and Trey Rainey rounding out the top 10. Inside the top 10, only 3 chasers. Our next highest chaser, Matt, as well as in 12th, and you look down and you see Sebastian Kukalan 18th. So really only about 5 chasers inside the top 20 here today in Phoenix. It was a very famine day for a lot of chasers. But for Jake Galloway, he definitely had a feast in Phoenix, ends up leaving with the points lead by a good margin over Colton Young. The others, as we look down here below the top 20, our next highest chaser down 26th, Franz Device, and look down at Colton Yo, came as the points leader, he ends up 30th there today. Jeff Wright 32nd, Simon Bloomfield 34th, Luke Rainey 37th, Danny Lloyd 39th, and Paul Taylor 40th. were all the chasers down here. So a lot of chasers had some bad days, and in fact, everyone that Colton Neal is the lowest chaser that didn't have damage. Jeff Bryant had damage, Don Bloomfield had damage, Luke Rainey had damage, Danny Lloyd and Paul Taylor both had damage. They're both pretty much out. Paul Taylor started on pole, Trip McGinnis led 8 laps, Luke Rainey led 5 laps. They finished down here because of some unfortunate issues bound for the lead. At the right side are the point standings, and it's Jake Galloway back on top by 4 points over Colton Yo. Yo's teammate Matt as well is only 5 points back at the points lead. Kukulon only 6 points back. They have a tie 8 points back. That is William Steedman and Luke Rainey. They're currently tied for that spot. So we still have a lot of drivers within a race. It's just gotten a little more spread out now. France Device 10 points back. Danny Lloyd still within a race, 11 points back. He can leave next race tied with Jake Galloway for the points lead because of how that all goes. So it'll be interesting to see if Lloyd can try and make his ground back up. Paul Taylor's still only 12 points back. That's just over a race back. But for drivers below the number 99, like Trey Rainey, Simon Bloomfield, Jeff Wright, not looking too good for their championship chances. But, Galloway, he's only 4 points ahead of Colton Neal, only 5 ahead of Mathis Wells, only 6 ahead of Sebastian Kukulon, only 8 ahead of Seaman and Rainey, only 10 ahead of the number 38 France Device. So those drivers still within a race of the points lead. Like I said, this Target Series chase has been very, very close. Like, no one's been able to gain a really significant advantage, or the rest of this might be the biggest points that we've seen so far in the chase. 6 races through, 4 races remain to crown our season number 8 Target Series champion. Currently Jake Galloway in the spot to get it done, but 4 crazy races left to be run, including this next one at a 1.5 mile racetrack as we push back towards the East Coast, where we'll make a stop in Texas for the Toyota 300. I will see you guys then.